YouTube! What's going on? It's been a minute. Or 9 months. It's been nine months. So much has happened in my life since I last uploaded on here, man. We bought a house, all kinds of other fun stuff that you guys don't want to hear about. But I really want to get back to posting content for you guys. I've been satisfying my creator itch, if you will, on TikTok. If you guys don't follow me there, it is at SauceyDad. SAUCEY Dad. I do just pretty much anything paranormal related, reacting to videos. Most recently, though, I've been telling the story of my haunted house. But as of today, I am back on the YouTube grind. I really want to get to a point where I'm putting up 2 videos a day. 1 in the morning, 1 at night. Like I said, we did buy a house, and I'm still in the process of setting up my recording room. So to get back into the groove of things, I'm going to start by posting a consolidated version of some stories that I did on TikTok. This first one is all about my time at the haunted house that I lived at. There's quite a few videos that I'm going to consolidate into this one video because it went on for quite a while between me remembering different things that happened and me answering comments from previous videos, which all lead up to me eventually taking a little drive down there. I'll talk to you guys briefly again afterwards, but I really hope you enjoy the video. I'm glad to see you're back. I hope you're glad to see I'm back. This is going to be a consistent thing from now on. Like I told you, I really want to get to a point where I'm putting 2 videos a day up. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it, man.
Parents of TikTok, what is the creepiest thing your kid has ever said to you?
This trend belongs to my aunt, but she's not on TikTok, so here you go. My mom and I were moving into a new house, so my aunt and my cousin came to help us. After making a few trips inside, my 6-year-old cousin takes a seat on a stump in the front yard. He then turns and looks at the 3 of us out of the blue and says this place was built on an Indian burial ground. Once he saw the looks of "what the fuck" set into all 3 of our faces, he then began to hysterically cry and ran to my aunt. Looking back, we really should have loaded our shit back up and left. For the following 12 months, my sister was thrown down the stairs. I had a very large something get in my bed with me. I had a big green head floating outside my window. The fabric, non-electrical angel on our Christmas tree caught fire. We had a random message pop up on our answering machine of a mother beating her daughter with no missed calls on any of the caller IDs. Long story short, we ended up going to the local library and finding out it was built on a burial ground. I didn't realize until making that video how much of that place I actually blocked out of my memory. This may be part 2 of... First, let me elaborate a little bit on a couple of the stories from the first video. So I had a collie, a border collie. Her name was Chloe. Every night like clockwork, Chloe would jump into bed with me when I went to bed. I slept facing the wall, she'd jump in, snuggle up behind my legs. Until this one particular night. I reached back to pet her as I did every single night, and there was nothing but air. Paralyzed with fear, all I could manage to do was pull my covers up over my face and silently cry. A few minutes went by, and then I felt it jump off the bed, and all I could do was just lay there shaking until I eventually fell asleep. But sticking to my bedroom, this was a very old house, and it had glass doorknobs, the type with like the wood grain in the glass. Every single night, they would start shaking in my bedroom, and my closet would open. Now, this house was far from even. If you opened the door during the day and let go of it, it would close shut. So, yeah. On the back side of my room, I had 3 doors in my room. The hallway, the closet, and a bedroom that was attached to the back of my room. In that bedroom was a hockey table and a foosball table. And off of that bedroom was this terrifying little 2-foot wide staircase that went down to the kitchen. Why this place had a second staircase? Not sure. However, in the room with the hockey table and the foosball table, every single night I would hear somebody sit down on an old spring mattress and then lay down and get comfortable. Again, no bed in the room. And like I told you, outside of the window that was above the driveway, I would see a big green head floating around, and it would do this motion here, and it had a big, thick green mist that followed it around when it moved. I got a lot of really good sleep at this place, is what I'm trying to tell you. Fast forward to my sister's story. One of them. Every day after school, it was just me and my sister. One day, I'm sitting on the front porch of the house with my girlfriend just talking. All of a sudden, we hear a scream and a do-dush-do-dush-do-dush-do-dush-do-dush. I hear my sister's voice scream my name as if I did something wrong. I turn around and I see her, the back of her head, in the doorway. I said, "What's wrong?" She turned around, and when she locked eyes with me and saw that I was outside, just white. The most blood-curdling, scared scream I've ever heard. She ran outside and said, "Nick, somebody just threw me down the stairs." So my girlfriend's there, right? I gotta be the big, I'm gonna go kill whoever's in there. Scared out of my mind, I grabbed a bat and I went in the house. Obviously looked all over the place, there's nobody in there, right? This is gonna take a lot of parts. So the answering message. My parents had just gotten divorced before my mom got this house and they had split custody. One day my dad's dropping us off at my mom's and she asks my dad to come in the house and listen to something. They weren't exactly best friends at the time, so I found that weird. Then she played the message. Guys, it's the scariest thing I've ever heard to this day. The deepest voiced woman just beating on her daughter with no missed calls on any caller ID. Part 3. Just to wrap up that last answering machine story from part 2, the message was like 13 minutes long. It wasn't some quick little thing you couldn't really tell what was going on. Oh no! But get this. My mom saved the little cassette tape from the answering machine. Now, my wife and I just bought a house, and when we were getting ready to move 4 months ago, I dug through everything I owned because I had told her this story and never gotten to show it to her. But I found my little tape player, so I wanted to find the damn tape. And I did. And there's nothing on it. It disappeared. The audio is gone. It's a blank tape. None of the old messages from the answering machine or nothing. Blank. Gone. All of it. Part of me was kind of happy I couldn't hear it again, but the other part was like, God, nobody's gonna ever believe me. Luckily, there was 4 of us standing there, so that's a memory we'll have forever. Luckily, I said. Really? Continuing! This place had the scariest garage you've ever seen in your life. It had a gravel floor and a couple boards laid down for you to try to line your tires up with when you pulled in. In the garage, there was this, like, treehouse loft thing in the middle of the garage. Not an attic that went the distance of the garage. It was like this little boxed out room with this rickety little treehouse ladder that went up to it. This room was padlocked when we moved in, and we left it like that until right before we moved out. We'll come back to that room. But this is about my dog Chloe again. She went to the bathroom in the house, and it was raining outside, so we were gonna just put her in that little hallway thing that's connected. The house is connected to the garage by this little hallway thing, and that's where I put her. I put her in, close the door, turn around to walk away. I get about 2 steps, and she just starts screaming, yelping. So I'm like, Mom, I'm not leaving her out there. She's terrified of something. My mom was like, no, you gotta leave her out there. She needs to learn her lesson. So I waited about like 30 seconds, but I stood right at the door just because of the way she was like yelping. It sounded like she was being attacked or something. So I opened the door. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm opening the door. I open the door, and there's just blood everywhere. From her paws, because she was trying to dig through the wooden door to get back inside. This is a collie, guys. It's not a bulldog or a pit bull or anything like that. So yeah, garage, bad news. Pardon the interruption, but I don't know if you guys could hear the thunder during the last few parts of this video, but we have a crazy storm coming in and out of here. The wind was just blowing everything from the pool out of the yard, and my wife was hollering for me while I'm recording, so I knew it was something important. And I come into the hallway, and she says there's something crossing the field on 2 legs. I got it on video, but I need to play with the resolution because it was really far away, but it just crossed the field in like 60 seconds. A walk that takes me 10 minutes. Alright, back to the haunted house. Part 4. I'm gonna try to make this the last part. Without a doubt, one of the scarier instances in this place was the whole Christmas tree ordeal. My sister, my mom, and I are in the living room watching TV, and all of a sudden you hear like a sound. And then, boom. The angel that we had on our Christmas tree was a fabric, craft-made angel. This craft angel, with no electricity to it whatsoever, randomly caught fire and fell on the floor. Not a whole lot more to say about that. As I said before, this house was very old. If you've ever been in an old house, you know that the light switches are very hard to turn up or down. You have to apply a pretty good amount of pressure to get it to do either one. Headed towards the garage that I talked about, there was a breezeway where the washer and dryer were, where we kept our shoes and jackets, and the light in this breezeway refused to stay off. My mom would shut it off and say, guys, please stop leaving that on. She'd go to the bathroom, come back, and it would be on again. And you could literally hear it click on. There was just something very dark about that end of the house. That little staircase that I mentioned from the back of my room, it was 2 feet wide, just very eerie looking. It had a landing halfway. It was like a 90-degree, you go up at half the flight, there's a landing, and then you go up the other half. At that landing, there was a painted glass window. On the wall halfway down the staircase was a light fixture. We tried everything you can possibly imagine. The light would not stay lit. You put a bulb in, it burns out. Unless you stood there and stared at it. But the second you turned around and then turned back around, it was burnt out. So my mom said, you know what? I'm just going to put a candle in front of the painted glass window. Same exact thing. You stand there and watch it, it'll stay burning all day. You turn around and then turn back around, the candle's out. At the bottom of that staircase was the kitchen. In this kitchen, the cupboards would randomly all be open when we came in, just like in the movies. All the chairs from the table were never on top of the table, but they were always moved around. My mom had a decorative stuffed bunny rabbit that was in the corner of the dining room, which was attached to the kitchen. And every single time we go in there, its head was like this, looking out the window. We would fix it, straighten it up, you leave the room, come back, it's looking out the window. Every time. I could go on about this place for days and days in 7,500 part because there was just so many little things that happened, but I've told you the more significant events. Oh, the little room in the garage. So we ended up cutting the padlock off it, and in this little room was absolutely nothing. It could have been used for storage for all I know, sure. But judging by the vibes of this place, I find it highly doubtful. It was always freezing in there, and it just had the most terrible energy about it. I just can't explain it. And I guess that's how I'll finish it off. That goes for the whole house. Again, my parents were freshly divorced before we moved in here in the first place, and whatever it was really fed off of our sadness. I, to this day, don't know how my mom stayed there on the weekends alone. But we were just all so upset all the time. Angry, sad, all of it. But that's it. Any questions, ask away. Picture time! Now this is actually kind of cool because I found an old listing, so I'll be able to show you guys exactly what I was talking about. This is a Google Earth street view, and right here, this little bump here, is where the stump was that my cousin sat on when he said this place was built on a burial ground. Doesn't that just look inviting, that black hole? Stay out. Remember how I told you I had 3 doors in my room? There you go. That one goes to the bedroom that's attached, that one goes to the hallway and the main staircase, and then that's the closet door that would open every night. They still had those glass knobs. This was before it was torn down, I guess. You can see my room right there through the doorway here. And what do you know? They put a bed back in the room. Might as well give whoever it is a place to lay down, I guess, right? There's the kitchen, and that's the staircase I was talking about. Doesn't that just look inviting? And that's how, you see the landing halfway up. That's where the painted glass window is. And on the back of this little wall here is where the light fixture was that wouldn't stay lit. Again, all these cupboards would always be open on the back side of this little island thing here. Yeah, yep. The living room, that's the stairs my sister got thrown down. There's a landing at the top of these too, but as soon as she got down to the landing, she got thrown down the last flight. Right here is where our Christmas tree was when the angel caught fire and fell down. You can see, if you look down there, you see their jackets. That's a doorway there. I don't know if you can tell. It's kind of hard because of the colors. And here is said breezeway. That is the door to go outside. And I find it kind of funny. They hung a curtain right here. That goes to the door to that hallway thing that connects the garage and the house I was telling you about. This is a 3D version on Google Earth. So the breezeway is right here, and there's a hallway that comes down here into the garage, and there's a door there where they have that curtain. Wonder why they blocked it off? So they rearranged some stuff. They have their kitchen table over against the window on the other side, but this is where we had our dining room set up, and right where that little stand is with the TV on it is where the chair was that had the stuffed bunny rabbit that would always be looking outside. This was my mom's huge and very creepy bedroom. Her closet door also had a lot of activity. There's no pictures from inside the garage on this listing. I wonder why. Just kidding. I told you, stay out. But that's it, guys. I appreciate you following along and listening to my stories. It's been good to get this stuff off my chest, but I also feel like I need to take a shower. Doesn't it just look like somebody would be watching you from those windows? Oh, and that's the porch I was sitting on, and that's the door my sister was looking at me through when she fell down the stairs and realized I was outside. Alright, I'm done. Thanks for listening, guys. I'm headed to the shower. And maybe church. Yeah, definitely church. I am really torn about this, and I just can't stop thinking about it. Since telling you guys all these stories about that place, it's just driving me nuts. I am dying to know if the people that are living there now are experiencing things. Do I stop by and knock on the door? Do I write them a letter? Because if they're not experiencing anything, the last thing I want to do is stir it up by going there and asking. What do you guys think I should do? Because I need to know. One way or another, I need to know. I really appreciate your comment. Not sure why nobody ever told me this. Probably has a lot to do with the fact that I never asked. But like I told you guys, from my room, I would hear somebody laying down on an old spring mattress every night in that other room, which was where those stairs were. Also explains why the doorknob might have been shaking between the rooms, and the door would open, and the closet door would open. I'm also wondering if maybe that's who was sitting on my bed. Whoever it was not treated very well. They were angry, to say the least. Would it have been uncommon for a servant to have kids living in the house with them? Hear me out. Was my room the servant's kid's room, and she was sitting on the bed saying goodnight or something? And the message I heard on the answering machine was maybe the owner beating her kids? And that's why she's so angry? Damn it. Hey babe, is the church still open? I'm assuming you're referring to the bed instance. My dog wasn't there. What happened is I felt her jump in my bed, and when I reached back to pet her, there was nothing there. I did forget to mention though, when I reached back to pet her, I happened to look over because it took a minute to register, and you could physically see an indentation on my mattress of where she would be laying. Makes you feel warm and fuzzy all over, doesn't it? Your comment did remind me of a story that I left out of those parts though, and that's why I'm making this reply. The girlfriend that I talked about lived directly across the street from this house. One day my mom's boyfriend came to meet her at the house, picked her up, and they left. He left his little S10 pickup truck and his dog behind. His dog was like a pit bull mix. At my girlfriend's house, I hear this loud chirping noise outside, as well as the dog losing its mind. I run out into the middle of the driveway to see what's going on. The dog is trying to get to the house. It sees something. There's nobody in there, but it sees something. And the chirping noises I'm hearing is it pulling the truck down the driveway. The tires are skipping across the pavement, making a chirping noise. And the dog is losing his mind, trying to get to and kill something. What in the actual... That's so hard for me to even look at. I can't even explain it. My eyes are watering. Pretty sure I see something else in this picture. Before I show you what I see, do you see it? Or better yet, do you see them? Does that not look like a child and an adult's face in the window? If I stop reading you guys' comments, that's nothing personal. Guys, these pictures were taken by a real estate agent. They are still on the realtor's website. This one is, well, this is the picture she's referring to. Do you see it? No? Let me help. I literally see, and I don't know how you couldn't, the side profile of a woman and either a child or a man sitting or knelt down. Still don't see it? So there's the woman. You see her head with maybe like, I don't know, some sort of hat from back then or something. You see the profile of her breasts. You see the dress. And then you see either, like I said, a child or maybe a man. The part that's really creeping me out is how these silhouettes are over the leaves. They're over them. So it's not part of the tree. Oh yeah. Like I said, when we moved in there, my parents had just gotten divorced. But my mom was staying alone for the first time in over 13 years in that house. It's kind of funny because when we were living there, none of us spoke a word about what we were experiencing to each other. I think we all just felt like if we talked about it, it would make it real. I mean, some of the stuff like my sister being pushed down the stairs and the message on the machine were kind of hard to deny. But even those cases, we just left it at that and never talked about it again. To this day, I just so wish there was a camera in the car when we left there for the last time and headed to our new house. That whole car ride was just filled with, wait, you too? I gotta tell you, I have a whole new respect for my mom now that I'm a dad myself. I just can't imagine what she must have been going through. Having to stay in a place like that alone for 3 days a week. She had to have every TV in the house and every light on just to be able to get any kind of sleep. And having to experience all of this stuff being super careful not to scare your kids. The last thing she wanted was for us to not feel safe in our own home. But little did she know we were terrified. But yes, her room was very active just like the rest of the house. She hasn't told us any major events yet, but we're getting more and more out of her as the years go by. Guess where I'm headed? I'll give you a hint. It's a certain house we've been talking about a lot. So I have to go to the bank, which is about an hour from where I live. But it's about 2 minutes from the house. Now I kind of want to pull right in. So that's my intention. Really not sure how that's gonna go till we get there. If there's somebody outside or something, I'm sure I'll stop. But if I have to pull in and go up to that front door, so we'll see. See you guys in about 45 minutes now. Oh man, got about 15 minutes left to my journey here. Is my face changing colors? It feels like it's changing colors. pulling in is looking less and less likely, I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh, just left the bank, guys. I haven't looked at the bottom of this hill in years. Right up there. Oh, my heart is beating out of my chest. Who's scared? I'm not scared. You're scared. Oh my God. I haven't climbed this hill in so long. I'm shaking like a leaf. He puts on his blinker. Oh my goodness gracious, man. Eyes are starting to wander. Oh boy, here we go. Hello, old friend. Oh my God, dude. This does not feel well. There's people living there. My phone's gonna get water damage from the sweat in my fucking hands. I just can't, man. Like, I really want to, but I can't. I just can't. Like, God, I can't even look at it. Of course. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll come back with the wife. I can't. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I had every intention on pulling in there and talking to somebody, but... Woo-wee! Oh, and to clarify what I meant by tore down in the last video, when we moved out, we drove by the place 2 weeks after. There was heavy equipment all around the house, and it looked like, I don't know if they tore... I don't know what they were doing. Now I have no idea what they were doing. But my mom, my sister, and I, when we saw all that, we were like, oh, definitely tearing it down. But now I'm not sure what they did. Oh my God, my heart right now. But you know what? I think the best thing to do is to write them a letter. I'm gonna ask them one question. Would you mind if I came and took a tour of my old house? Definitely bringing the wife if she'll come. Doubtful, but I'm definitely bringing you guys. What a live that would be. That's it for that, man. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. As far as that house goes, I did write them a letter, and I'm waiting to hear back. I'm really hoping that they allow me to... Goddamn bugs. I'm really hoping that they allow me to go take a tour of that place, and, bug's gone, okay? Promise this time. But yeah, so I am waiting to hear back from them. I'm really hoping that they agree to let me do a tour of this place. I'm obviously going to record it. My ideal plan is to do it all live on my TikTok channel. I'll obviously record it as well, and hopefully, you know, if we catch anything, maybe slow that stuff down, enhance brightness, all that fun paranormal stuff, and put it on here. One way or another, if I do get permission to tour this place, the recording will end up on this YouTube channel for you guys to watch. If you do have a TikTok, try to catch the live stream. I might even end up trying to bring 2 devices. Maybe I'll do a live on both, this and that. I don't know, we'll see. But I have such a large group of people that are so invested in this story on the TikTok platform that I feel like I'd be doing them an injustice if I didn't do it live there. So maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll do both and then just post a video of the recording on each afterward. Anyways, guys, I'm not going to keep talking your ears off. I'm really glad to see you're back here with me. Like I said, I promise to be a lot more consistent starting today. That recording room is almost set up. And yeah, look forward to more reactions. Put some stuff in the comments that you guys want me to check out or react to or whatever it may be. I don't care what it is. I've been out of the game, like I said, for about 9 months, so I'm sure there is just umpteen videos for me to react to, which is pretty cool. So I'm really excited about that. I hope you guys are too. But that's it for today, man. I hope you guys have a great night, a great day tomorrow, and we'll see you in the next video.